Hello. Uh, I think it's time for the next in the series of my communications with my soul family. I think I'll call them that. My 12D friends. This is from 914, and I would just ask you to remember that I'm you, and that you're me, and that there's nothing special here. And by that I mean we're all equally special. We're all infinitely, phenomenally that. We just forgot. And we did it as a lark. We're really intense, powerful, wonderful beings. And, we've come down here to play. And getting lost was a part of that. To the divine, majestic beings that we are, there's nothing that we can't handle. We've really set this thing up in a most interesting way. Well, back in a sec. A lot of our challenge with this 3D experience, I have found, starts to fade away when we start remembering who we are. Not who we were, who we are. Even though the 3D mind cannot encompass these things, that's perfectly fine. We have other resources, Be in heart. Okay, I'll just get to it here. So, hello, my 12D ET friends. Greetings of love to you. And hello, Theresa-Ann, loving you too. We have to keep me in balance between here and there, so to speak. I could, unfortunately, be pulled into desiring to be there rather than here. We are aware of this. It's being taken care of. Do relax. Well, thank you. Is this rash I've been experiencing all or mostly a product of the morphine I take? Yes, it is. Well, then it's good that I've cut back on it. I'll get completely off of the new ones as soon as I can without stressing myself. But, getting rid of the pain would be the ideal thing, or having it diminish significantly so I could work with natural products. Can you tell me anything about this? We can tell you that you will master the pain by mastering its cause. Well, can you tell me the cause or point me in the right direction then, please? I truly don't know consciously what its source is. It is fear of death. Wait, I don't recognize that I have that. Is this my 12D friends I'm talking to? Yes, Theresa-Ann, it is us. Be still and listen, please. Okay. You have many death scenes from other lifetimes that were not pleasant ones, and this pain springs largely from that. There are some other influences, but this is the bulk of it. Okay then, can you help me please to bring this up and master or transcend it? What do you recommend? We recommend that you cut out being so curious. Please, friends, I'm not hearing you clearly. Perhaps please help me to do so as it was yesterday, quite clear. You have certain curiosities that do not work in your favor, such as going beyond death. This does not keep you anchored and present there where you are. Oh dear, That is a major fascination of mine. I use it to help me connect up with the higher dimensions, my higher self. What can I do in its place for that purpose, please? You can meditate. Bring yourself into oneness in heart. And yes, play that healing DVD. That is good. I'd love to speak with you directly. Would meditation be a way that could be done? Yes, at some point, but get comfortable meditating first. Okay, thanks. It's hard waiting to wake up here in 3D. Many of us kick against having to wait. What would you say to me about this, please? Of course it would be. We recognize that human form in some ways is not an enviable state. That's why more of us don't come down into it. You're very brave. What can you do? Release. Do what you can to release desires and expectations. Just be where you are. Oh, this is so funny. Me getting my own teaching back in answer. Well, I guess it's a pretty good teaching then. Yes, we see this, and some of what you teach comes from us. Oh, that does delight me. Truly it does. I want to offer my best, or rather, the best, to be the most helpful, so I'm so glad this is the case. We have been coming through you, working with you for some time. We just didn't come forward for Ken to be aware of until your recent session. Part of the reason was him, and part was us. The time is right now, so now you know in the conscious mind of us. Of course, your higher self knew all along. Of course. Sorry, the body is paining me much now. This can't be too pleasant for you to make contact with either. It's not too bad for us, dear one, but if you're that uncomfortable, maybe another time would be best for our talk. Do consider yourselves deeply hugged, wonderful ones. You, just your presence and knowing about it is some of the most wonderful news of my life. Nevertheless, higher will be done in this and all. I love you. Thank you for being. Theresa-Ann, if we let you feel even a tenth of how we love and regard you, the human body would fail under it. Do know, dear one, that you are ever so close to our hearts. And I said many deep thanks, namaste. And they said, namaste, we'll return. To which I said, yes, please come anytime. All right, that was the conclusion of the 914 journal. Well, it's not a journal, it's a conversation. But maybe it does, maybe it doesn't fly in the face of the 1010 journal, which is the last but one that I uploaded. It's out there. The journal, or the conversation, was held on October 10th. And I got to pondering it and wondering, and so I decided finally not to wonder anymore and just make an addendum to this. Continue the conversation, and you'll see what I'm asking them as I go forward. I did this yesterday, which is 11:28. Hello, my dear friends. I find I have some questions about this conversation of ours that I'd like to ask. I hope this is okay. Surely it is, Theresa-Ann. Ask away. I'm sure you've read my thoughts, but I seem to see two differing answers to what looks like the same question. In the conversation from 1010, which I recently put online, you give an amazing understanding about the weight, the burden this body bears, about how the overall weight remains constant. Well, a big part of that weight comes in as pain. Yet, as I go back to this conversation, I see you pointing me in another direction for the source of the pain. Will you please help me discern and understand? Surely we will. And just as we read your thoughts, you read ours. You read ours as you were keyboarding this. We showed you the difference between the weight and the pain. They are not quite the same as you see now. Is that correct? Yes, I do see some clear distinction there, but please do continue. The overall weight being borne by your body remains constant. Not all of this weight manifests as pain. It comes out in many ways. For those elements that are pain, we have pointed you to your many death scenes, most in some sort of military service as the source. And you have already cleared some of that. Okay, but that brings on another question. Since the weight remains constant, what happens when I clear most or all of those death scenes? Will you show me how the weight will manifest then? Yes and no. We don't want to predict your future for you and thus remove the joy of discovery, your delight in your now. We will tell you, though, that you're rising in frequency along with so many, even most, on Earth. As you do so, your bodies will be far less vulnerable to physical aches and pains. Most of these that you are experiencing now, all of you, are related to the adjustments being made in your DNA and your rising frequency. Some call these ascension symptoms, and often that's what they are. Yet be cognizant of the reality that your very form is shifting from flesh to more of a crystalline nature. Even now, under sufficient magnification, you know your blood takes a crystalline form. Even gold, which most people don't think of as crystalline, takes on that form as it grows in the earth, in the mountain. You could also say you're becoming more etheric, for you are. As evidence, many of you are now seeing far more into the next higher dimensions, seeing what you call rods and orbs and all sorts of manifestations. These things are not all strictly 3D. So you see how even now you are transcending the flesh form. Well, it is that form which is subject to the nerve signals of pain. So as you transcend this form, this too will help relieve the pain. You have much to look forward to. We won't share with you the way your burden will manifest going forward. We don't want to plant such ideas, but choose to allow you to be the discoverer of that. We trust this is fine with you. Oh yes, it is. During the day, I take 7 or 8 narcotic pills to help tone down the misery. They help make my current life livable, yet I'm also aware that they suppress my energy level. How could they not? So, it will be a new me I'll be meeting when I can finally lay those meds aside. What a fine day that will be. Meanwhile, though, I'm content to see myself using for the last 4 or 5 days only 5 of the 7. How great it is to stay in the now. We agree, of course. Now, you had something else about the 914 conversation to ask? Yes. How is my fascination with NDEs, near-death experiences related to this pain. How is my curiosity around them holding me back or contributing perhaps to the pain? I don't quite see the connection there. This one is easy. Just as you know that your pain comes largely from the unresolved death scenes, so your fascination with the beautiful experiences of others contributes to your avoiding the challenging bits. You fill the mind with these lovely death experiences, clouding or obscuring the difficult parts. In this way, we hope you can see how it's the manifestation of fear. Fear to get in there and come to grips with those terrible death scenes. Well, that's how the mind currently views them. They are not that. But it takes you clearing away the energy from them to discover this for yourself. It needs to be done. Once again, you've given me something to deeply ponder, and I offer thanks. Now, before I close this, is there something else you'd like to say? Yes, there is. Just relax. We want you and all who deal with pain or even tension on a regular basis to become more self-aware of the constriction, the tension you carry in your forms. It contributes, sometimes greatly, to the pain, forming the vicious circle. More tension equals more pain equals more tension, and around we go. Plus, this self-observing and relaxing consciously is an exercise guaranteed to help you be more anchored in the present moment. Every gift, every delight that you have in store is only found there, in the now. When you wander away from it, you diminish your power of intuition as well. The heart is always found in the now. It knows no other way, and by being thus centered, it is able to take you to any time or place at the speed of thought, but only by being in the now. The now here is indeed the nowhere, the portal to infinity and eternity. When centered in the moment, you are, as you have said in other journals, centered on the cross of time-space. Space is the crossbeam, time is the vertical one, and where they meet is the magical now. We want you to realize that a part of the reason you are so good at remaining put in the present moment is due to your body's pain. You chose it before this embodiment, partly for this very reason, its ability to help you center. Sometimes, as you know, it's all you can do to make it through the next moments, the next hour. It's quite a powerful leash, but one that you chose. It will be a great day when more and more of humanity take responsibility for what manifests in their life and don't look on any of it negatively. Nothing negative exists, not in reality, only in the grand drama. On the play stage of planet Earth do you act out such parts. The time is now here, though, to awaken from this and many other aspects of the dream you are in. Yes, simply everything is a blessing if you see it that way. And if you do, that's good evidence of being in heart. We know you understand this, but we share it here for the many who will stop by to check out what you are doing. We love you, Theresa-Ann. We see that your body is giving you pain, so we will close now. Know that you are always blessed, even and especially when you don't feel that you are. Boy, that's a mind bender. It's time now to be leaving reliance on the five senses behind. You all have higher ones coming on board. Sixth and seventh, and even other senses beyond. As your higher chakras above the seventh are opening now, it all makes perfect sense. Soon your inner vision will come more strongly online, giving you the higher view that you desire, the perspective of what things look like from above. Meanwhile, we will come and share our vision of that with you from time to time. Namaste, my dear. You are blessed. And I said, thank you, my friends. You offer much here that is worthy of pondering over. Namaste. See you soon.